Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44. It's the Tier 6 American SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Steppes, and this one is under the command of Randamach of DKSPT. Now, you saw him in the FP304, and that's also a Tier 6 British SPG. Let's see how he gets on in this one. Okay, it's a 155mm howitzer this time. It's capable of 500 alpha, 39mm pen, 6.7 meters on the burst radius, and between 6.5 and 10.5 seconds of stun. The howitzer is actually mounted on a swivel mount, which means that it can actually shoot over a wide arc. 60 degrees arc in total. That's 30 degrees either side of the centre line. And you can see he's climbed all the way up the cliff. And I think he's going to go, oh yes, he's going into that little pocket there. It's a good firing position in here because of course you can see cover behind the rock. But of course it means that you can't really get away. Okay, first target's an OI. Lining up the shots. Tier 7 game with Tier 6 tanks. I think the OI slowed down for a moment to take a shot. Now, they built 250 of these, or at least they think they built 250. It wasn't a highly built Arty. Some of them were even sold to Britain. 52 went to the British Army on the Rhine, and 6 went to England for training purposes, so 58 in total. They called it the Cardinal. Apparently, the Turks still actually have some in stock, and they've been re-engineered with new Rhine metal howitzers. We managed to damage the 87 and the M6 with that last shot. I think he's going to try and hit as many as he can with each shell. He's not going to get a bombardier for a while, though. Of course, this is the most famous Arty for being buffed. Or being nerfed rather, not buffed. It's the opposite. It was getting too popular and too many players were losing to M44s and constantly being hit by M44s. So Wargaming, in their infamy, actually went and nerfed it so badly that now very few people play the M44, except Randamach, of course, and a few others. One of the main ways they did that was by lowering the amount of damage it did from 550 to 500, and then of course they altered the reload time. It used to be about, you could actually have 16 seconds on the reload. Now it's all the way down at 22.4. It's kind of ruined it actually. It used to be one of the most favourite Artys. I'd still like to own one for real if I could ever get my hands on one. Oh, that one hit the wreck. Of course, it was built during the 50s, and the funny thing is that it actually does appear in the film Pattern Lust for Glory, and of course it wasn't available during World War II, so it's a bit odd that it's actually appearing in that film when of course it wasn't around. That 87 is now one shot. You can see the yellow stains where the shells have impacted. I think we might get one shell into him. Rounds out. Here we go. Yep, thought so. And OI finally turns up. He must have stopped to go and do some shopping or something like that, because he's taken ages to turn up on this corner. Well, we're going to have a chance to put some more shells into him. Rounds out. I spoke too soon. I really did speak too soon. I didn't realise that the T-34-2 GFT was going to take him out at that particular point in the battle. But we've now got a bit of a problem because there is an enemy tank, a 45 TP, very close to us right now. And our Dickermax doesn't seem to be aware. Well, he is aware now because he's just got taken out of the game. But it wasn't the 45 TP, it was actually the Super Hellcat who took down. And we're now in this pocket. Now, I think the 45 TP might know we're here. He's taking fire from the SU-152. And of course, we're sitting up here. We might be able to get a shotgun on him now if we go down to the bush at the end and line up a shotgun. Oh! Well, we definitely got spotted this time. There's only one Arty in the game. It's on the M team. It's an SU-8. And I'm certain the 45 TP saw us this time. No doubt about that. Not sure what the 45 TP is doing though. He's worried about the fact that he might get shot in the rear. In fact, now might be the moment to do a quick run down the cliff and shoot him up the rear. I think that's why he turned around. He didn't believe that the Arty would not do that to him. But there is an open flank on one side of the map, on the east side. So if we do run down the map, I think there's a good chance the enemy are going to shoot at us. There's the 45 TP. The Jagdpanzer takes the kill. Or does he? No, it's the T-43 who got the kill. But this position has been compromised. Ideally, we need to go over to the west side of the map and shoot at the enemy from over there. But Randamach has decided to stay here and line up shots. Rounds out. Well, he certainly stopped that guy from moving, tracked him temporarily, and he fixed his tracks, and now he's off again. Now, that's the American Scorpion there. And the American Scorpion is very vulnerable to RT5 because it doesn't have much in the way of armor. About 1mm, that's all it's got. It's an open top vehicle. I would have been straight down onto the low ground and behind the T-34 2GFT and the SU-152, but he's decided to stay in this height, and unfortunately the T-43 is coming looking for him. Yes, he has been killed. Well, T-34 2GFT claimed another one. But I'm certain Randamach will be safer down on the ground behind the SU-152 and the T-34 2GFT. Plus, of course, he can keep changing position and possibly even go up the other end of the map to start capping. Okay, IKV-65-2 lines up, rounds out, and he got him! I'm pretty sure that was a splash kill. In fact, the SU-152 did appreciate it because, of course, they were worried that that guy was going to start pumping 90mm rounds into them. Well, the Scorpion, which is the M56 Scorpion, does have a 90mm gun. And there's the SU-8. He's been spotted. There's 4 left on the enemy team, 4 on our team. Oh! And now it's 3 left on the enemy team. They've lost their SU-8. It doesn't count as a counter battery fire medal because it's only 1 Arty. But he has taken out his opposite number. He's chasing the target at the moment. And now he's got another kill. The Super Hellcat this time, leaving 2 remaining enemy. The Scorpion and the T-71DA. Even though we outnumber the enemy 2-1, it's by no means certain that we're going to win this one. Because we don't know where the Scorpion or the T-71 went. But they are moving as one. So I suppose you could say that at least they can protect each other. We just don't want them to get sniped. The setter's moving up. The T-34 2GFT is very low on hit points. He could be taken out with 1 round. And in fact, we found the Scorpion. Dialing in. And we've lost the T-34 2GFT. I go with the round now. Rounds out. Oh, so close. Well, there's only 3 of us left now, so he really does need to move from this position and get towards the enemy cap area. There's the Scorpion. Rounds out. Well, it was an accurate shot, but unfortunately the Scorpion had already gone. And if he'd been closer to the enemy, then he would have got a more accurate hit earlier, and that might have meant that he would have got the kill. But he's just too far away. Sometimes you've got to get close to the enemy in order to ensure that you're quick on the fire. Rounds out. Again, it's going to be a bit delayed. You get some stun, but it's just the setter and him now. And unfortunately the setter's gone down, so now it's just up to Randamach to win this game. I think the lesson here is if you get closer to your teammates, there's a good chance you might actually be able to help them when they need that help. But he was just so far away that by the time he fired the shot at the spot where the enemy was, the enemy had gone. And it was just too late to do anything about it. Using the W key to move up the battlefield not only means that you can cap on the enemy, but it also means you get quicker shots on them. And the shell arrives before they get a chance to pull away. Now all he can do is try and shotgun the enemy when they turn up. I know a lot of amateur Arty players would just fire the shell at the wall, and of course that would be self-deletion, and of course you don't want to do that. You can still get more hit points regardless, and it's always worth keeping alive and forcing the enemy to kill you, and that way at least you go down fighting. And well, there's the T-71, and he's managed to climb without being spotted. And before we can get a shot off, he takes us out. Here's the end of battle results for the first game, and that was a third-class tanker for Randamach of DKSPT. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 4 exactly. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. And his win rate was 4,082, but sadly, I'm afraid he was just too far away from his teammates to actually help them towards the end of the battle. We look at the team scores, we can see the highest damage in the game went to the T-71DA, the one who killed us in the end. He got a high caliber for 2,768. Second place actually went to the SU-152 on our team with 2,421, followed by the 45 TP with 2,415. So not far between those two. We can see Randamach got 1,809. He was only beaten by 2 members of the enemy team, 2 members of his own team, which makes him 5th on damage. When it came to kills, though, he was actually top, because he got 4 kills in the game. The T-34 2GFT got 3, and so did the T-71DA, and then there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, we can see the T-71DA came out on top, 1,158 makes him the only player to get over 1,000 base. And in second place, the 45 T got 999, and the Scorpion got 788, with Randamach getting 547 as the highest amount on his own team. He fired 19 rounds, got 6 direct hits, 1 penetration shot, and 14 splash. Damage of 1,809, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 3 hits from the T-71DA, and it wiped him out. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 723 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he made 22,430 credits profit, including holiday ops of 11,335, and 821 XP out of it as well, and 274 from holiday ops. So sadly, the first game in the series was a loss, but it could have been so different if he'd actually moved towards the cap on the other end and got closer to the enemy, because he might have been able to take them out, even face to face. That would have been quite funny if he got face to face with the enemy out in the field. I think that 155mm might have actually paid off in his direction. Anyway, let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the south spawn of Abbey, and yes, there we are. Game on. But as usual, Wargaming managed to foul things up because we didn't have sound on the replay, but I managed to get it working. Sometimes I have to restart the actual replay about a dozen times just to get the sound. There's a lot of fiddling about. Poor Klaus Kellerman's getting a lot of it as well. He's finding it very, very tiresome as well when you don't get the sound. Okay, well, he set himself up in the bush and we're ready to go. And let's have a look. Yes, he's got a target, but unfortunately from this position he can't get decent shots. He fires, and he does get some damage on the Super Chappie. Yes, that P43 Biz is hiding behind the houses, probably looking down the alleyways to see if anybody turns up in the village. Now, the Super Chappie's probably only going to move once he realizes there's a target he can go after. There is the T-3485M in the village. And now we found an MT-25. Dialing in. He's marked the target. Or was it somebody else who requested the target? I think it was somebody else actually. Fires the shell in before it was fully dialed in, but it did tend to go exactly where the MT-25 was last seen, so he could have done some damage. It's got a red line there, so obviously something's in the way. But he can hit this Tiger 131, and he's momentarily going to be reloaded. Okay, letting it dial in. It's got a KV2, goes for that instead, but unfortunately the KV2 moves a little quicker than the Tiger 131 does. Of course, there's always the curiosity, is the player of a Tiger 131, is it a wallet warrior or is it a bona fide good player? Well, it looks like he fired the shell, but it actually hit the wall of the rock. There's the KV2. KV2 keeps getting in the way and fails to get any damage off the Tiger 131 from that shot. It's a very difficult shot, but he can get some damage. Trouble is, he's going to get it by splash. He's got a red line there for the rock face. No, not an easy shot. As the KV2 backs away though, we get a shot and it falls short. There's only one Arty on the enemy team, it's a Hummel, and it appears he just fired and our teammate's only a short distance away, and that's why I heard the rumble in the distance. One more shell in, and yes, he got the kill this time. Tiger was reduced to 1 hit point, and he's got himself on the scoreboard. Now you can see when he pulled back there that he's got a red line, and that's why when he fired the last time he actually hit the wall, not the target. No shots on the easy 8 either. He would be much better off over on the west side of the battlefield. Yeah, again, he's hit the wall. He had a red line and he shot the wall instead. The enemy on the river road can't get into our cap area at the moment, so we're still safe here, but our shots are actually hitting obstructions because we've got a red line. If you get a red line persistently, it's probably better to relocate. Rounds out. Well, that time he did get a hit, and he's reduced the T-34 to a one-shot. 5 hit points. He should go down with the next hit. Okay, the Jackson's right over the other side. He's turning around, and I think he's running away. 2 up on the enemy. It's a tier 6 game with only tier 6 tanks in it, yet the Jackson's definitely running to relocate, reposition. That's a little late, that. You have to give a little bit of lead time to just a tiny bit of lead time to actually enable you to actually get the shot on target. Okay, might be able to get this E8 as it comes down the hill, but you need to lead the target. That's it. Done it. Rounds out. Looks good. Well, it was around about the same time the Easy 8 was coming down. Jackson's gone over to the hedges at the back of the cap area, and he's taking fire as he goes. He's backing up, and somebody's requested fire, and he goes down to the T21. The OI is right at the very back, in the corner. Lining it up. Rounds out. Oh, that's a direct hit as well. No explosion, so we know that one hit the target. T-34-85 is going to probably go around the corner and dislodge him. The Easy 8 went up into the nest, the sniper's nest, just behind that church. And we're trying to get, no, that P43, he's got a red line. And unfortunately, we just lost our T-34-85. The Jagdpanzer managed to get him as he went past the entrance. But that shell hits the P43 and he's out the game. So there's definitely that Easy 8 sitting in that corner and right next door to the church. He's unspotted, but he can only be holding one position because there is only one position sitting in that little sniper's nest area. There he is. You see the church there? And the sniper's nest, yes, they're all indicating that that's where he is. So you just need to put a shell in on that little corner, right next door to the trees. That's where the position is. No, he's aiming at the cliff. Okay, just a little bit further on and then fire. Rounds out. No, that hit the, well, it's not a chapel, but it looks like a small little mausoleum. He's in there. That's where he is. It's a firing position amongst the bushes. The strip's going in. And there's the Easy 8. He was actually just the other side of the chapel. Now he's in a difficult position, and the 88 puts him out of the game. There's only 4 enemies remaining. The OI, the Jackson, the Jagdpanzer and a Hummel. The Jackson was last seen down at this end of the river road. There's the OI. Rounds out. Hits the top of the rock. The Jackson's actually up the other end, so the IKV's moving up the road as fast as he can from the south. The T21's getting into a position where he can get at these guys. Again, I think this is a case where it would be a really good idea for Randamach to relocate and get closer to the enemy. If he was to actually go all the way up into grid square A1 by going through the west route, he could get up there and start shooting at the enemy from the other side of the map. And we just lost the T21, but rounds out in the Hummel. Now, rounds out. Oh, that hit him. That definitely hit him. No doubt about that. If somebody looked away, you see, you'd miss out on information like that. And the Hummel doesn't have much in the way of hit points. So hitting that guy means he's probably a one-shot. And you put a shell in there now, an HE shell, he'll probably expire. Oh, somebody else got hit. The OI's been hit again. Because if it had been the Hummel this time round, then the Hummel would have expired. So he's probably hit the OI and he's continuing to hit these guys. The IKB-65-2 is not moving up. The Steppes 74 is reluctant to move into that position. That long reload cripples the M44. It really is such a pity that Wargaming nerfed it as badly as they did. The problem was that most of the top tank players just couldn't cope with it. And he has killed the OI this time. He took some splash, he went out the game, but the Hummel is still in there, probably hiding right next door to the wreck. So Randamach's going to pump another round in. Rounds out. No, he must be using the wreck for cover now. Well, they're all gathering together to try and stop the enemy. And in fact, the enemy Hummel has left that area unspotted by our teammates because they weren't looking. And now he's coming down the river road. There he is. So, easy takeout. He's only got 41 hit points. It's an easy kill. Rounds out. Here we go. And that's the 4th kill for Randamach. And now the Jacksons decided to come down this way, trying to escape the force. No, he's turning around to fight. Well, that's good of him. Now we need the IKB to get into action, come up his rear, because we're starting to lose players. The KV-2 is capping, and the Jagdpanzer's now sniping into the cap to get resets. The IKB is sitting up there not doing anything, and again, this is where relocating would really help to get to the other end of the map, and then we would be able to shoot at these targets with virtually no lag time at all, no lead time needed. That Jagdpanzer's there for one purpose, to get resets, and well, the KV-2's decided to leave the cap area. The IKV's still sitting there. He might be actually flipped over. That might be why he's not moving. Well, we've stunned the Jagdpanzer, and the Jagdpanzer's the Flat Panzer's about to die. Well, he will off the next round if he can get this one, but the Jagdpanzer's being bullied. Oh no! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not what I expected. Okay, put a round in there, rounds out. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure that would have done some damage. But now it's 2 versus 2. We had a significant advantage, but because we were up the other end of the map, and the IKV finally came through for us and killed the Jackson, now it's just that Flat Panzer, the Jagdpanzer fear. We can't see anyone on that side. The IKV appears to be up on the raised ground. And we're into the countdown now. This could end up being a draw. Well, there is the IKV. He's managed to get down and he's hunting the Black Panther now. Well, that definitely made a clang. I would have held on to that shell, but he's got enough time to reload. And if he spots the... There's the Jagdpanzer. We need to make sure this shot counts, and the IKV does it for us. And the game is over. It's a win with 15 seconds left. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for Randamach of DKSPT in the M44. He managed to get a fighter badge again for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 4 exactly this time round. And he also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. His win rate was 3,264. But I think he learned a lesson here is you need to get closer to the enemy sometimes, because if you get closer to the enemy, you've got more chance of hitting them before they can do anything about it. So let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in this game turned out to be the 88 on our team. We've got a high caliber and 2,672 hit points. Second highest damage was the Jagdpanzer who got a top gun at 2,561. And in third place, it was Randamach with 1,471 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the Jagdpanzer who got 6 kills. 4 kills went to the Randamach and 3 kills went to the 88. And when it came to base XP, it's the 88 again with 1,252. The only player to get over 1,000 base. 796 went to the T3485M. And 775 went to Randamach in his M44, just beating the Jagdpanzer on the enemy team. He fired 27 rounds, got 7 direct hits, 2 penetrating shots, and 15 splash. Damage of 1,471, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did 386 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made 36,709 credits profit from that game and 6,396 experience points as well, including getting mission completion bonuses on XP and on credits from holding ops. So yes, a different battle, a victory this time, but yet Randamach still won't get closer to the enemy. You've got the whole battlefield to work with. You don't have to stay in the same position all the time. In fact, it is advisable to relocate every now and then just to avoid counter battery, just in case the enemy Arty has an inkling of how to do it. But in battles like this, it really does help going all the way up the other end of the map, because if you did do that, not only would you get better shots at the enemy when they're holed up in their little positions, but you can also ensure that if the enemy does try and go for your cap, you can jump into their cap and start capping with your teammates to win the game that way. Hope you enjoyed those 2 replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.